guys. Welcome to our first inaugural FPL JUiCE Podcast. Pleasure to have you all with us. Listen, this is where you're going to tune in for the latest squeeze of all the juicy bits from the Fantasy Premier League. Okay? This guy over here, he's Ash.
And that's Nick over there. And on our very, very first show here at LaunchPod Studios, we're going to be asking one juicy question each about every team in the Premier League in our end-to-end feature. We're going to be taking a look at the JUiCE community team, which has just been finalised on Twitter.
Today.
Fresh JUiCE right there. We're going to be getting a special top tip for game week 1 from our mystery friend, the agent. That's what we're going to call him.
Yeah. Identity is protected at this stage.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be. And we're also going to be revealing our teams for the start of the 2021 season. Plus, we're going to fit in and squeeze in anything else that we can get involved in the show. But first of all, Nick, how are you?
Mate, I'm absolutely buzzing to be here at LaunchPod Studios. It's been a year, I think, since we started this kind of journey together.
September 2019, to be exact.
Yeah. I mean, it was literally a case of FPL. We were so involved in it on a day-to-day, chatting about it at work. As a bit of background, me and Ash used to work together. We did sort of an office job together, and we've both now left that. And I guess this kind of idea was born out of that start where we used to have that Monday morning meeting when everyone would convene in the office and just abuse each other on how badly they'd done on
literally,
FPL.
we wouldn't start a minute's work unless we'd had at least an hour, an hour's talking about FPL and how badly or how well our teams had done. So
I think for the boys in the office that didn't do FPL, it's quite a painful start to a Monday. But and then I think because I left that, I missed that atmosphere. You missed it. We got on Twitter, started chatting to like-minded people and really kind of had some really good conversations with them. And that's when we kind of felt like this would be a great way to keep that going. Now we're not involved in that daily conversation or that weekly conversation even. It's a really good way for us to feed the FPL habit, I guess.
Yeah, we've been able to keep our passion alive. And it's always great to share on Twitter because it's such a inclusive community where lots of people like to get involved. So we want to encourage people to get involved, get interacting with us. If you've got any comments, please feel free to jump in. Anything funny, football, we love it all. So just make sure, like, subscribe, and get involved.
Yeah, chat to us because the thing that's going to make this for us is really having that involvement from you guys. Just you guys, I look forward to hearing how right I am and how wrong Ash is. That's going to be awesome.
The problem we've got with that, right? Listen, I'm going to be real for a second.
All right.
We've been playing head-to-head for 2 years, right? And I'm yet to taste any form of defeat.
Yeah.
Do you know, I've forgotten what losing feels like, to be honest. How does it feel, Nick?
Well,
just tell me. Just in a few words.
There's some caveats to that. My first response to that, I guess, would be that did you know that Calvin Harris has more UK number ones than Elton John and George Michael?
I couldn't care less.
Right. So the quality, I'm coming at this as an artiste, okay? You might have the technical victories, but I am the man who's performing in a way that the crowd was. I'm the Newcastle 95-96. I'm that kind of really showmanship team that people want to play. You might have technically got there. You're like a bit like the Arsenal Invincibles. There was a lot of 1-0 victories in there. There was a lot of contentious
I smell a lot of bull here.
But
this is just covering up for his lack of footballing knowledge. But
the proof will be in the pudding.
Don't worry, JUiCE gang. We're going to get Nick to really improve on his performances because he needs your help. He needs your help now more than ever.
Yeah. Do you know what? If we can be real for a second, I need a bit of assistance in this because I can't take a third year of, albeit the last one was very contentious, but we'll perhaps come on to that another time. But I don't want to be going into a third season. This is my 13th FPL season now. I did play a few other games before. I got onto the official FPL one, like the Telegraph one and things like that back in the day. But for 13 years, this has been the mainstay, and it's the one I kind of enjoy the most. I think it's the simplest form. I think it's the best way of playing the game, and I think it's the one with the most interaction as well, which is the best thing about it. It's the one where you can really get involved on Twitter, and everyone's talking about the community's fantastic. You got kind of all the funny bits that come out of it. You even have some beef recently, which we've seen. Listen, we're not trying to get involved in that so much, maybe, but I'm sure.
Not right now. Not right now. But
depends
in a few weeks,
what you say about my team.
Who knows what's going to happen? Listen, your team will do all the talking for itself. Let's be honest right now.
Yeah.
Should we move on to our feature?
Yeah, let's hit it.
Yeah. So we've got a feature for our first episode. We've called it End to End. So the premise really is we're going to go through the Premier League teams, right? We're going to go A to Z or A to W, right?
Yeah.
And going to ask one juicy question each.
Yeah.
The other guy's going to answer it, and we'll see what interesting comments and opinions we can get from that.
Yeah, I think it's important just before we start that, just to kind of say that's where our view of FPL and where our kind of philosophy, if you like, comes from on FPL is that we are not the stats guys.
No,
we're not necessarily the people that are going to have the most. Listen, I love getting involved with the stats, and I love reading about them and trying to make a really good sort of decision based on statistics and based on facts.
Yeah.
However, I always end up with a lot more questions than answers. So I think this is kind of where it's going to come in with you guys interacting with us. We can be asking these questions and you can tell us if we're right or if we're wrong or the best way to proceed, because ultimately we play the game for fun. We're not kind of in it for a spreadsheet approach. We're in it for a bit of a laugh. And also we love watching football. So a lot of my decisions personally, probably to my detriment of my team, is based on what I'm looking for. And maybe those kind of personal feelings about and biases about the team.
See, that just sounds like another excuse to me, because my approach is very is very similar to yours. I love the stats, don't get me wrong, but I'm not into all the XG and XA and all that. I don't really follow all that. I literally eye test most of it, because I watch Match of the Day every week. I watch all the highlights 2 or 3 times sometimes if I'm bored and I've got nothing to do. And if I see a player pick that I think, oh, he looks a bit juicy, he looks a bit tasty, then he's coming into the side. It's as simple as that. I don't really want to go on FPL community and see that player getting lambasted. He's rubbish. He's this. It doesn't really bother me at all. Yeah. If I think he's good enough, he's coming in. And that formula has worked for if I haven't mentioned already, it's worked for 2 seasons on the bounce.
Yeah.
So
come on, Calvin.
A lot to be said.
Let's
get into it. All right, who's first up?
So yeah, Ash, my first question. As I say, I've got more questions than answers right now. So
don't worry, I'll give you the answers, mate.
First A to Z question. So
hit me.
Number 1, Arsenal. My question: who's going to start in that front 3? So obviously we've seen Aubameyang. He's staying. He's obviously in the mix. You've got Willian, just signed, big money. Can't see him not getting involved. Pepe, massive money last year, didn't really perform, but Saka, number 7, been given a number 7 shirt.
Yeah.
Listen, we don't read too much into shirt numbers, right?
Yeah.
But it's got to mean something. And also played really, really well in the Community Shield. So, and that's not to mention there's a couple of other young players coming through there as well. So
the difficult thing with Arsenal is because they've signed so many players, right? Or because they have so many players in this squad, it is really difficult to establish who's going to start. He mixes the team up. I'll tell you, he's done a great job, but he mixes the team up. It's really difficult to know who's going to start. If it was me, I would start, and it was a front 3, I would start Aubameyang up front, or on the left, Lacazette through the middle, and Pepe on the right. I don't see any space for Willian, to be honest. I love Willian. I had him in my team last season.
Is Lacazette
I feel
staying,
like
do you think?
If he goes, then Willian will start. Willian will start from the left, Pepe on the right, and Aubameyang will go through the middle, I'd imagine, which obviously increases his appeal for FPL managers. He's that classed as a midfielder, so him playing up top is going to be
insane decision, by the way, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. But I guess they're just all they're doing is putting him in line with Salah and Mane. Yeah. So it's arguably the right decision. Saka, I can see him being a bit in and out. If I'm honest, as a youngster, he's probably blooding through. But yeah, if I was going to go for a front 3 that I think he's going to start in the first game of the season, I would say go with Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Pepe.
Okay.
And then Willian off the bench, maybe.
Okay.
It depends on his fitness, because he's injured at the moment, right? So
yeah.
So he might be working his way back to fitness. What do you think?
Personally,
agree with that?
I don't know if Lacazette's going to. I think this fog around him maybe staying, maybe going. I don't know if he's going to be starting. I can't see, even from the bad vibes that Arteta might have if he knows he wants to be off. Nketiah was getting quite a few minutes at the end of last year.
Nketiah, that's another one. See,
who knows? He's a bit pricey for me at 6 million for a player that's barely kind of played, but he did all right when he came on last year. Yeah. Apart from that red card, I think he got red card, didn't he? One of them did. But he did. Listen, it'll be interesting to see. Yeah. I wouldn't, other than Aubameyang, I can't see myself investing any of their assets.
No, it's really difficult.
It's a mix. It's a mix at the minute.
No, I'd agree.
Game week 1, game week 2, we'll start to get a bit of a feel for us.
Yeah. Okay. Aston Villa been busy recently to sign Watkins, but the question I've got for you is there anyone else other than Jack Grealish who you would genuinely buy as an FPL asset for your team? We know Grealish is awesome, right?
Yeah.
For that kind of level team.
For that team, yeah.
And that kind of budget, 7 mil. He's the main man. But is there anyone else that you'd consider?
No. And I'll tell you why. So
good call.
The thing about it is, right, last year we had John McGinn performed really well in a little patch here and there.
Yeah.
That first game against Spurs, everyone was like, bring him in. He's obviously, this is going to be it for the season. Listen, it didn't work out quite the way. He had injuries and everything else, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
But at 5.5, I think there's a few other options around.
Do you think Watkins?
Trezeguet. Watkins, I'll be completely honest, I didn't watch an awful lot of him last year. Just saw the playoff games and looked okay. It's a jump up in level, isn't it? We'll have to see on that, I suppose.
Yeah. What do you think? Like if he's like 5.5?
5.5 is an option.
6 mil.
5.5
level.
6 mil, no, not
too steep.
But 5.5 is going to free up. We'll come on to it later, right? With some of the teams we've been building, and I've been that 5.5. Would come in handy.
Yeah.
I could do a lot with that 0.5.
Yeah.
At the minute, I'm right on the verge of stuck with a player I don't really want, but I've got no choice. So
we'll see that. We'll pick your team apart later. We'll have some fun.
We'll do that. And Trezeguet, he was the other player. He ended well.
Just stop talking now.
He almost saved it.
Just stop talking now.
He almost saved it. But what I would say is, no player other than Grealish last year, not one of their players broke the 100-point barrier. So you got players like Dendoncker and Mark Noble that performed better. Yeah. We're not even talking about, they're not even in the conversation of whether to have them this year. And they're at 5 million. And these other assets are 5.5. So for me, it's Grealish possibly, but there's so many good midfield options. I don't even know if that's him. But depending
on how they start the season, I've already earmarked Grealish to be coming in because I think he's fantastic value at 7 mil. I really do. And I had him he was in and out of my team last season, but when I had him, he was good.
Okay. Yeah. I had him for a bit as well, but I think Villa might, that second season syndrome, I think they could be Huddersfield-esque this year.
Yeah.
But let's see. If Watkins starts performing, there's a chance.
Yeah.
Right, here's my question for you.
Hit me.
Brighton, next team up.
The Hove.
Literally throw your rocks up, right? Should we consider any of their cheap defenders?
Yeah, we should. I like Brighton's defence. I really do. They've got Webster, right? The tall centre half, 4.5 mil.
Big threat.
Brilliant threat from set pieces. Dan Burn, again, left back. He looks to have solidified his place in the side. Both good options, I think. Maybe not for starting your team with, but coming off the bench, I think they're really good options. A lot of people talking about Lamptey as well.
Did really well.
What's his price? 4.5? Yeah.
Quick player.
Quick, and he ended the season quite well. I think he was getting forward a bit. So if you're looking for sort of an attacking fullback, it's going to be between him and Alzate, right?
I don't think he's had much in terms of attacking returns, but a bit like you said earlier, in the eye test, when I was watching games that Brighton had, he did seem to be really pushing forward. So where he's playing, you would hope with a bit of a run in the team, it could lead to something. I don't think he's quite I don't know. I don't think he's quite there in like one of the premium wingback, but at 4.5,
I think at 4.5, it's what you want. When you're looking for a defender, you want someone who's going to be attacking, right?
Yeah.
Or is keeping clean sheets. Now, Brighton are not going to be keeping that many clean sheets, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
So, we'll see how the season goes. He could be a really good option. I really like Burnley. He's been in and out of drafts for me. Because I know he's a nailed left back. Graham Potter likes him there.
Yeah.
Really tall, threat from set piece. He scored a couple of goals last season. My main one is Dunk, right?
It's that extra 0.5, isn't
Extra 0.5, maybe not cheap, but he's cheap enough, I think. The thing that stood out for me was he was on free kicks, or some free kicks.
He scored that cheeky one against Liverpool last year, didn't he?
So I love a defender that takes free kicks. So he often tries the old knuckleball from like 20, 25 yards out.
Yeah.
So I really like Dunk, club captain. He's nailed. He's starting every week. He's the main man. So, yeah, I think we should be considering some of the defenders, especially when you consider like Vinagre, which we'll get onto him soon. He might not be a fan favourite anymore with what's happening, but we'll get onto that. We'll move on. We'll move on to Burnley. Burnley, can we rely on clean sheets again, or is the wall about to come down?
I think we still can rely on them. I think nothing much has changed there. They've still got Pope, who, he's 5.5, but if you want to buy into that defence, you don't have to spend 5.5. So he's still going to be there or thereabouts. When you look at, and one of the things I did look statistically was, where do they concede shots from? Where are those shots coming from? So when he faces shots, he's got everyone knows Pope is like your save point getter.
Yeah. Tremendous shot stopper.
And one of the reasons is he's a great shot stopper, don't get me wrong, but Burnley tend to keep quite a deep line. So a lot of the shots he's facing from far out. So his percentages of chances of making those saves are extremely high compared to some of the other keepers.
That's some real in-depth analysis there. I'm not used to this. You've changed.
I've upped my game. It's 2020.
Changed since that
2021. Since I was in Italy.
Who did you speak to? Mancini?
Gab Marcotti. We spent a lot of time together. And so we've worked out a strategy. But I think this is really what it comes down to. Their defence is pretty much unchanged. The only reason I haven't kind of dived on it straight away is because of that game week 1 where they're missing.
Yeah.
But I think, Tarkowski was looking like he might go at some point, or 1 point, sorry. He's not.
West Ham are still interested.
Yeah, but I think you've got to be mad to go to West Ham right now, looking at the turmoil that's coming out of that club. But Tarkowski's still there. Ben Mee's still there. Eric Peters.
Charlie Taylor
is going to be a great option at 4.5 as well. So I think there's some real good opportunities. But listen, guys, let us know what you think. Obviously, hit us up in the comments. Obviously, the Twitter, FPL_JUiCE as well. Get involved with that. Tell us what you think. If we're completely wrong, we'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, let us know. We're wrong most of the time, so don't be shy. We're used to it. It's all good.
Ash, right. So we've got, no disrespect to Brighton and Burnley, right? But we're on to a bit of a juicy team now. So Chelsea.
Yeah.
Loads of questions about this team. This actually reflects on my team. Obviously, you haven't seen it yet. It'll be a surprise if you like. But some of these things may...
upset you?
Not upset me, but some of these things that I've been thinking you may see manifest itself in my starting 11 later. Okay. But
interesting.
Can we trust their new signings from the off? They've made big signings.
So let's list it, all right? So they've got Thiago Silva, 5.5 at the back. They've got Ziyech, as we were told how to pronounce it. As our poll told us how to pronounce correctly, Ziyech.
I thought it was Ziyech.
Yeah. There was Ziyech, but apparently it's Ziyech. So that's what we're going with. At 8 mil. Havertz have just announced 8.5 mil.
What a player.
Timo Werner, 9.5 mil.
Yeah.
Who am I missing?
Chilwell. Not
5.5. Not fit, no. But still, I think, great signing for them. Can we trust them? Yeah, I think we can trust pretty much all of them, to be honest. They brought Werner in for 50 odd mil. He's a goal scorer. Simple as that. Tammy had a good first half of the season, but I think Lampard's obviously shown he can't really rely on him for a full season. Giroud played, and I think the reason why he carried on playing was because he was scoring goals. towards the end of the season. But Werner's not coming in to make up numbers. He's coming in to lead the line, in my opinion. So
he does play on the left sometimes, though.
He does, and that could be an option. Maybe with injuries, if we got Cho, Callum Hudson-Odoi.
I feel
play from the left. Pulisic.
I feel for him. Yeah, Pulisic as well.
Pulisic on the left. So I think if Pulisic's fit, Pulisic plays from the left. If he's not fit, he probably plays Werner, maybe Abraham or Giroud through the middle. I think Ziyech, although I've seen a lot of things about him playing Cam, but
I think Havertz
coming in is Cam.
That role. Pulisic one side.
Ziyech on the right. So I can see all these players starting. I can even see Thiago Silva starting, not bringing this guy in on probably the wages that he's on to just bench warm, They're there to improve the side. Lampard's bought all players that will go into the first team. So I think we can trust them. I think Ziyech is fantastic. I think they're all really good value, to be honest. Ziyech at 8 is 8 mil. I think that's great value. Havertz is priced about right.
Yeah.
Werner's priced about right. So what do you think?
I would steer clear of the defence until we sort of know what's going on with Kepa. That wasn't a great kind of performance last year. But with keepers, I think I was interacting with a couple of the guys on Twitter recently saying, what do we think? Because Kepa's not a bad keeper. Like, sometimes when keepers are young...
He's not a bad keeper. He just can't catch the ball.
Sometimes, that is a problem when you're a goalkeeper. I'm not going to lie. But listen, sometimes you get these players, especially keepers, where it takes time for them to grow into a better play. Look at David James, high-profile mistakes.
Yeah.
Came back to be one of the best keepers in the league. Brad Friedel, not so much made any mistakes, but just wasn't getting any game time at Liverpool as a young player. Went on to become an absolute legend.
It happens, but don't you think he's quite small for a goalie?
Kepa?
Yeah. I'll be interested to learn his height. If you know what his height is, please give us a little message.
He doesn't look
on Twitter.
Doesn't look big, but I wouldn't want to fight him.
He looks like my under 10s goalie that I had at Lucy Rangers.
I bet he was cheaper.
Definitely cheaper.
Cool. Yeah, guys, let us know. Listen, especially on those Chelsea assets, I'd love to hear what you guys think about who's going to be the one to have. Because me personally, I made a bit of a vow a couple of years ago not to have big new signings straight away in the team and see how they get on and see how they bed in.
I don't like doing that either.
But I would take a risk on one. I'll take a risk on one. So I'd be interested to see what you guys think would be the one to take a chance on. So again, comment, let us know on Twitter, and we'll see if we can decide as a group what the best option is.
Yeah, exciting times for Chelsea. I think they'll be challenging for the title this year.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, Palace. Palace. Is it finally time for Zaha to shine? That wasn't a poem, by the way.
Nice.
Or is he a proven trapdoor? Talk to me.
Right. 4 pre-season games.
Yep.
He scored 3 goals and he's got 2 assists.
But who are they against, though?
He's been playing up front, out of position up front as a striker. He's got massive potential. So, yes, he's a massive trap. Because these are all hallmarks of someone that is going to show you that, this guy's really got it. He's only 7 million. He's got this. He wants to be in the shot. The guy just never... And even when... Back in the day when he has performed really well... I don't know. I just don't like him as a player. I know it shouldn't come into it. It reminds me of for players to be in my FPL team, I have to love them.
Yeah.
And it reminds me a bit of the Michael Bolton song. No.
Now you're showing your age, man.
How can we be lovers if we can't be friends? And that is how I feel about Zaha. I don't like him. So I kind of...
You can't put him in. You can't trust him.
I can't trust him.
Yeah.
How can we be lovers? But he's just... I think he's just going to let you down. I think if you get him in, he's going to let you down. There's so many good options at 7 million. Or there or thereabouts.
I don't often get talked out of players.
Have I just done that?
No. It was done weeks ago on Twitter.
Can you just give me the credit?
You can have the credit.
Thank you.
On this occasion. You need some. I love him. I think he's a brilliant player. I think some of the stuff he does with the ball, I find amazing. Absolutely amazing. The way he dribbles with those gangly ass legs, right, is mad. And he's got mad speed. The problem is goals. Goals and assists. I think last year he got 2-3 goals.
He was poor.
It's just not good enough. And
VAR can catch him diving now, so that's taken away 10 assists.
Yeah, his assists gone. But yeah, I love, for FPL, I love talismanic players. I love the ones that you know are going to play. And Zaha played every game last season. Mm-hmm. You know he's going to play. He's smashing it in pre-season, albeit by, against lesser quality sides. Yeah. But at 7 mil, I'm just thinking, like, is he worth a punt for the start of the season? They've got some decent fixtures. So I don't know. I've been talked out of it, so I'm not going back on it.
I'd like you to pick him.
Yeah, he'll be coming in soon if he starts firing. But yeah, enough of Zaha. Hit me.
Everton next.
Yeah.
Right.
Doing some business.
They are. This leads on to my question. Richarlison or DCL are either an option. With all of that creativity now coming in, are either an option for you?
Now,
Decore
2 days ago,
today, by the way.
Yeah, I saw. 2 days ago, I would have said, no, neither. Absolutely none. But I think with the addition of James Rodriguez, I think both of those guys could flourish with him being the creator behind them. I really do. James is a quality. I like to call him a mercenary because he's one of those guys that, he's just a baller and he plays at all the top teams. Like, he's played for Madrid, he's played for Bayern, he was awesome at Porto where he was first discovered and stuff. So I can see him coming into the Prem and tearing stuff up. And I really think that the two strikers would benefit from it.
Right.
If Ancelotti can get them playing right, I think they're both good value. And that's the key thing here for me. Richarlison, 8 mil, again, talismanic player. He's not going to miss a game unless he's injured or he's playing, so terribly. And Ancelotti's shown a lot of faith in DCL at 7 mil. So I think if you've got, a third striker space, then DCL is a great pick.
I did wonder, when I pulled up earlier, I saw a DeLorean outside and I wondered who it belonged to, but now I know it's yours from 2014, thinking that James Rodriguez is still a good player. Because this guy has done nothing for years. Are you thinking still about that Colombia chested volley?
No. It's not even that. Like, okay, Mesut Ozil. Is he a good player or is he a bad player? He's a very, very good player.
Good.
But he's not had a long run in the team to really show his class and quality.
He had plenty of chances.
I think James, this is his time to shine, really. He's got a lot of doubters to prove wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't think he'd be making this jump if he didn't believe that he could make a serious impression on this team.
Like Shevchenko when he went to Chelsea.
Just like Torres when he went to Chelsea.
Listen, I'd love to be... Let's see. It'd be interesting. Make the fantasy a great game. It'd give us a lot more options if he was great and started really well. So, listen, let us know what you think. Is James Rodriguez going to be a star or is he just going to flop?
Are you Ash Gang or Nick Gang?
Is he going to be the David Klaassen of 2020? Because I remember him being the next big creative thing. Oh dear. Right, Fulham. Ash, what you got for me?
So Fulham, can Mitrovic score goals in the Premier League and become the new Pookie? Can we have another Pookie party in the form of Alec?
Yeah.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me
some more.
Let me tell you why.
Give me a story.
I'll ask you a question.
Hit me.
And the answer will be obvious because I wouldn't be asking it if it wasn't a great backup to my point of view. But 2 seasons ago, when Mitrovic was last in the Premier League, do you know who had the most shots in the box of any player throughout the whole season?
Oh, that's a good question, Nick. Klinsmann.
It was Klinsmann. Yeah.
I knew it.
It was
Mitrovic.
It was Mitrovic. So at 6 million, I can't see how he's a player to be ignored. Like, I understand that he gets yellow cards, but he's the focal point. He's involved in, like, last year he was involved in half of, like, literally 1 in 2 of every goal that Fulham scored, he was involved in.
But he didn't play in any of the playoffs.
He
didn't play in any of the playoffs, semis or final. Clark left him on the bench. Is that because he was unfit?
But he did, well, when he came on, he assisted Brian for the second goal, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So he's still effective. Everything goes through him. When he's on that pitch for Fulham, he's their main man. Guy, top scorer in the Championship last year. And when we're asking, can he score goals in the Premiership? We know he has. He's done it before. And for $6 million, who are you going to get that's going to score more?
At Newcastle, I think he scored 9 goals in consecutive seasons. And then the 2 seasons I think he was in the Premier League with Fulham, he scored 11 both times. So he's capable of double figures.
I'll take it. For $6 million, I'll take it.
Yeah, 100%. And you got to remember, he's probably a better player now than he was then.
He's actually surprisingly young still.
25?
He's like 25, 26. Yeah,
and he still bangs in goals for Serbia.
Exactly. So he scored the other night, didn't he? So
could be a bargain.
I think, he's only getting better at his age. Listen, Fulham aren't going to pull up any trees, but he's worth a punt, 100%.
Yeah.
Like it. Right, Leeds. A lot of talk, Ash. A lot of talk about these wing-backs. What are you saying?
Right, you're gonna have to help me out with this one, right?
Tough first game.
Because I know of one wing back. Who's the other one?
Well, Ayling.
Luke Ayling, he's the vice captain. I know Luke Ayling's a really sort of attacking fullback. So he's been in and out of a few of my drafts. In fact, I might be in for a little surprise in my team later. I can't remember if I left him in or not.
Oh, interesting.
Who's the other one? Is it Alioski?
No.
He has played like left wing back though.
The other guy that
Stuart Dallas. Dallas. Yeah, he's quite popular at the moment, isn't he? So I think I've just answered my own question pretty much.
You've clearly been thinking about him a lot.
Yeah, I've literally.
You're probably in your team.
Nah, I think Ayling is a shout.
See that volley he scored last year?
No, I didn't, but I'm sure you'll tell me about it after the show.
One of the goals of the season.
I like Ayling. 4.5 mil. He is going to be nailed. He likes to get forward. Leeds could be a surprise. I'd definitely have a little punt on him. Dallas, not so sure, but I know a lot of other people would disagree with that.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think. Which of the wing backs? Both? Neither? Tell us what you think. Just get involved. Drop us a little comment. What do you think?
To be honest, I haven't looked past that. That Liverpool fixture just put me off. I didn't give too much thought to it. I'll wait and see what they're doing. I'll watch the games and kind of can see if they're someone that could come into contention. Yeah. But at the minute, they're just not on the radar. I think there's a few other options, but maybe that's just a fixtures thing.
I think Leeds are going down. Anyway, moving on. Sorry, Leeds fans. Leicester City. Interesting one. Strange end to the season for them.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like they're a little bit on the decline. But I wanted to ask you, aside from Vardy, who are the best attacking options?
So, Harvey Barnes, maybe. Madison's injured.
Again.
Sadly, because I think he's an awesome player. Like, I had him in my team last year.
I can't get on the Madison hype. I can't do it. He's just one of those flash players. He just likes to take pot shots, free kicks.
That's my
he balloons them all the time. His assists and goals were poor last season.
He missed quite large chunks, but he was just involved a lot early on. I think he did fade. Let's see what he comes back with. Yeah. But he's definitely not in the plans at the minute. Oyosi Perez, I got burnt last year. He's definitely getting nowhere near this year's team.
No.
And then they've got other random players like, Tielemans, which ended the 2 seasons ago really strongly. Everyone thought this is a guy that's going to definitely do bits last year. Didn't. Mm-hmm. Damari Gray, loads of potential. He's going to be the next big thing. Does he even get in that team? Probably not. It's a really difficult side. I mean,
Iheanacho started to up front with Iheanacho, but he always pulls him off.
Yeah, but everything,
60 minutes.
Everything goes through Vardy. He realistically is an attacking option. I might look at the defence as time goes on, but as an attacking option, if it's not Vardy, it's probably not worth it.
Just exactly what I thought, man.
Yeah, I'm glad we agree on something.
Finally. It's only taken us 2 years.
Liverpool, big team.
Yeah.
Champions last year.
Yeah.
Massive. Everyone, I would have thought, is going to have some form of Liverpool contingency in their team. Mm-hmm. I'll be shocked if anyone didn't have at least 2, realistically.
Yeah.
But double Liverpool defence. I feel like this is almost thrown back to last year's debate that we had in the office, but double Liverpool defence is it's something I should be considering.
It's not something you should be considering, but it's something I have considered at great length.
Right.
As you know, I finished the season off with the double Liverpool defence. I finished with Trent and Robbo.
Yeah.
100%. At least the double. So, if not the treble. I've seen a lot of talk of the treble Liverpool defence, which I'm very, very tempted to go with. But I just want to see how the season starts for Liverpool, because they weren't great in the Community Shield.
No. I think they'll be all right.
But I think in terms of like Trent's absolutely amazing. At 7.5 mil, I think he was the 6th or 7th best performing point scorer against midfielders.
Yeah.
So he outscores tons of midfielders. So why wouldn't you have him there? He just represents fantastic value.
It's a no-brainer,
yeah. I mean, and Robertson, 12 assists, 2 goals. These guys are like midfielders. They're like, right mid and left mid. So
imagine if they perform like that with the defensive performance that they had from 18-19, those extra clean sheets, the scores would be out of this world.
Massive.
So they didn't start great last year. And Alisson was out, of course. Yeah. So you're probably going to say a few of those were down to subkeeper performances. So
have you been tempted by the double?
Well, let's see later.
Yeah.
Could be. I don't want to give you any ideas.
We might end up with the same team here. This would be a first.
But listen, guys, let us know. What do you think? Double Liverpool defence, is it an option? Or even, as Ash said, the triple. Comment, let us know. Hit us up on Twitter and you can tell us whether it's something that's got to be nailed. I think everyone, as Ash said, is going to have Trent.
Everyone will have Trent. Most people have Trent. I think he's got like 56% TSB. So
yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Moving on.
Oh, Man City. Yeah.
Manchester City, runners up last year.
Yeah.
Brutally knocked out of the Champions League.
Yeah.
Terrible performance. But FPL wise, Sterling versus KDB. Which is the best option?
Okay. I think this depends very much on what kind of manager you are. Okay?
An awesome manager. So let's just base this on me.
If you are a guy who likes to have consistency in your team, if you're a guy who likes to not be stressing out at 2 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon as to whether you've got 11 players even making it onto the pitch, then you got to go KDB. Plus, the guy also added on penalties to his game last year, so I think that's a big plus to him. I think that's only gonna make him a better point scorer. But, and I'm a KDB guy. I want that consistency. I don't like the headache. I hate playing Pep Roulette. Yeah. But Raheem Sterling is explosive. Mm-hmm. And he finished the season, not that KDB didn't finish the season strongly, but Raheem finished very strong. But this is a guy who will score in 2s and 3s and just go off in a game. He's got a higher ceiling than KDB. But for me, I'd rather just, if you're spending 11.5, I'd rather just have KDB in my team and leave him in there for the whole season and not think about it, rather than have 11.5 tied up. But I don't know. Do you know what? I'm even thinking about it now.
If there was a 0.5 difference in these, right? So say Sterling was 11. Say Sterling was 11 and KDB was 11.5. Who would you go for?
Probably still KDB.
Really? But it's that much better.
But there was only, I think he only had 120 minutes more than Sterling, but it just felt like less. It felt like, I don't know. It's a weird, it's a weird vibe.
They're both nailed. Pep knows. You're not playing Pep Roulette with these two because they start the majority of the games. If you're after goals, Sterling. He's going to be your guy. If you're going to captain him consistently, he's going to rack up some real numbers.
I hate captaining.
KDB is the more consistent one. Like you said, if you don't want a headache, you pick KDB. I love KDB. He was in my team pretty much all season, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think I even looked at Sterling, to be honest.
Did you see Sterling's stats for home versus away?
No.
One of the guys put it on our Twitter, like a comparison table for how players perform home versus away.
Yeah.
Pretty much, if you've got Salah and Sterling, which is quite a popular combination. Salah at home massively outperforms Salah away, but Sterling away is hugely more beneficial to have as a captain when he performs away. He scores like the vast majority of goals when he's away from home, and assists and everything else. So if you are going to go for that captain choice, I would say if you've got Salah away and Sterling away, go with Sterling.
Yeah.
But if
have you got any of these two in your team?
One of them.
Oh yeah?
We'll see.
KDB.
Right.
United.
Man United. What a recovery. That was like Lazarus.
Literally.
Dragging that team.
Phoenix from the ashes.
From the dead. Now, my question to you is, because everyone had Bruno at the end of last season. It was boring. It was like, it wasn't even a factor if he scored because everyone had him. It didn't matter.
You were making no gains.
But can he keep up the form that he showed after signing for Man United? Can he replicate that form? He had the highest points per match of any player in the game. Can he replicate that?
I think he can. I mean, this guy had such an impact on the team. It was ridiculous. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. They just looked a completely different side with him in it. It was amazing. Absolutely incredible. Do you
remember when Eric Edmond joined Spurs?
Mate, listen, you're a lot older than I am, so I'd keep those comments to yourself if I was you. Listen, Bruno is the sort of guy who, when he gets the ball, he's looking forward. He'll play the pass, even if it's 50-60% chance of making it to its target. He'll play it because you never know. I think that's the problem with a lot of football these days. Is a lot of teams are scared to try that ball because they've been told to keep possession, try and find the opening, etc., etc. Sometimes it just takes a defender's mistake and you're in, or a slip, or a miscued header. And I think he's got the vision, the eyes to find those players in and around him. Players like Martial, who had a really good end to the season. Rashford, Greenwood. These guys have got pace. So Bruno will chip in, as he did, with assists. He'll get the goals. They probably won't get as many penalties, but
let's hope not.
Let's hope not. But yeah, I really do think that he can keep up the form. I'd be disappointed if he didn't actually.
Yeah.
Because he could rival KDB if he picks up from where he started last season and starts this season well.
He could be a bargain.
It could be the value one.
But he could be overpriced as well. Compared
you
to
think? 10.5?
Possibly. If Rashford goes off at 9.5 and as a mid, you can only have 3, right?
But Martial.
And that defence was good.
Yeah.
So people might be wanting Wan-Bissaka. If Shaw gets nailed at 5 million and Man United keep the clean sheets that they were keeping at the end of last season, he again is going to be an option. So
Maguire, is he out of prison yet? Or?
I don't think for legal reasons we're not allowed to comment on that. But I think he's...
Apologies to Harry's family at this time.
Apologies to Chris Hughes, who was also there. So a bit of Love Island content from there, guys. Subscribe for more of that on my own personal channel. But yeah, I think it'd be interesting to see. Listen, with these teams, with the Man Uniteds, with the Liverpools, with the Man Cities, we're only going to be able to have 3 of these players, and that's what makes the game fun. That's what makes the trade-off between the value. I think Bruno, without that, is an amazing player. Is he 10.5 or worth 10.5? Sorry. Listen, let's see.
We'll wait and see.
Game week 2, we'll be able to revisit that.
Let us know, guys. Let us know if you think Bruno's worth the money. Is he a better pick than KDB? I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. Moving on. Newcastle United. Fraser. Ryan Fraser's just joined on a free.
Yeah.
They've just signed Wilson for 20 mil on a 4-year deal. Yeah. Fraser on a 5. Adding those players to ASM and Almiron. That's quite a sparky front 4. Do you think they're going to be a surprise package this season?
Is Steve Bruce still the manager?
Steve Bruce. Is he? I don't know, is he still the manager?
Listen,
yeah, I'm getting word he is still the manager at this moment.
Listen, I think that at the end he had one great season. Okay.
But he's only had one season.
No, he's been around scoring like 8 goals.
No, but with Newcastle, he's had one season, which was a great season.
Oh, sorry. No, I was talking about Callum Wilson.
Oh, right. Okay.
Callum Wilson. Sorry. Okay. He's had one great. So that was 14 goals, 12 assists, or whatever it was. And Other than that, he's never scored more than 8 in a season. But he's 6.5.
Yeah.
So whenever you're talking about a player, whether he's worth getting, the caveat always has to be the price.
Yeah.
Right? So would I have him over a lot of the others? Would I have him over Ings? Would I have him over Jimenez?
Yeah, but you're talking about different price bracket now.
Would I have him for a 0.5 saving on Calvert-Lewin? Yeah, I probably would. So
him or Mitrovic?
Both. Up top, we go light up top.
Around the midfield.
We go light up top. We're Kate Moss. So
there's value there.
But I'm telling you, I think this guy could do well. So what's going to be interesting? It's almost a bit like the Chelsea discussion we were having earlier. Is these are all new signings. They've got to click. They've got to click fast. Will they? Listen, they could go off. They could just suddenly hit the ground running. And for the price, listen, I definitely think it's worth taking a punt on one of them, maybe even 2. But
I think when Fraser gets fit, I think they can give a lot of teams some problems, because they've got some real pace in that attack.
Fraser's. Listen,
that season with Fraser and Wilson, where they linked up, I can't remember. It was a contribution of. It was a huge 12, 13 goals between them, which is like the second place in the record behind Shearer and Sutton. You should have known that, Mr. Blackburn.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, I think if he finds some fitness, I think they could cause some real problems, and there's some real value in that.
I just don't like how he did Bournemouth.
Or running down his contract.
Yeah. Well, just if you're going to do it, but don't stop performing. Don't literally give up and refuse to play in games.
Yeah, it's a bit smelly that.
He's a Michael Bolton. It's another Michael Bolton.
Yeah. You're Michael Bolton.
I love Michael Bolton.
You just tear that Michael Bolton poster down, man. Please.
What am I going to kiss when I go to bed at night? Right. Next up, Sheffield United.
Yeah.
What a team last year. What a team. Yeah. Everyone got on board with that. The Lord has been correctly reclassified as a midfielder now, thank God.
So that doesn't stop people picking him.
Yeah, I can't. Listen, I think he's decent, but he wasn't even guaranteed starts at the end of last season, so we'll see how that goes. But is there anyone on that team we should consider now?
In my honest opinion, no. Yeah. No. I've had a look. I've had a look. I've had a good look at Sheffield United. I've read a lot of things on Sheffield United. There was an awesome thread. I can't remember who posted it. I'll try and find them before the end of the show. But I had a really good read through it. I just can't. They've got nothing in attack, right? Bernie, Sharp, McGoldrick, they're not goal scorers. They work for the team.
Yeah.
The best players are probably going to be Baldock, 2 goals, 4 assists. Egan, he's a stalwart. He's going to play every game. He likes to go forward a bit as well. Ender Stevens.
Bernie, weren't you?
Nah, don't be silly.
Hang on a minute.
What do you mean?
Oh, I'm going to find this tweet, right?
What do you mean?
You were saying
rubbish.
He's a pick. You were saying this guy's a pick.
No, it's Oliver Norwood.
Oh,
Oliver Norwood.
Okay,
yeah,
what are we saying with Oliver? Sorry, Oliver Norwood.
He's the captain, right?
Right. Is he in your team?
Is he in my team? That would be a negative.
Right. The FPL JUiCE followers want to see you put your money where your mouth is. Captain, game week 1, Oliver Norwood.
I asked the question, simply. I asked the question. At 5 mil, he's on set pieces, right? He takes penalties, not that they get many. But for 5 mil, I don't think there's much better than Norwood at 5 mil. But if we're talking about any player that I'd have from that team, it would be Ramsdale. It'd probably be the
Don't forget to comment, subscribe that Ash is a massive hypocrite. All right, make sure we get that in there. Make sure we force him, peer pressure, online bullying to make sure that he has Oliver Norwood in his team come game week 1.
Listen, if you can't change your mind, you'll never change anything. That's a little bit of advice for you for this season. Now, what do you think?
I wouldn't have it now. I think it's spot on. There's nothing about that team that makes me want to grab them early. If they suddenly go on a clean sheet run, possibly one of their defenders, but not right now. There's nothing screaming. Nothing. We played a game for excitement. There's
nothing exciting about Sheffield.
Fantasy football's for fun, right?
Sorry, Blades fans. Southampton, the Mighty Saints. Can Ings replicate last season's form? And if not, who else can contribute the most points?
So it's an interesting question. I The answer is yes. In terms of no, because there is nothing to stop him replicating what he did last year.
Mm-hmm.
He can do it, absolutely. Why? There's nothing that's to say that he can't carry on and doing what he's doing. He's looked sharp in pre-season. He has. My thoughts are that how do I put this? For the price he is, there's just better options.
Jimenez?
Is
he a better option?
Name but one. Yeah, the guy is consistent. He's performing. Ings has the season of his life, and he only ends up 4 points ahead of Jimenez, who just stays consistent, steady in a better team. Wolves, listen, I know Southampton finished strong. I think they'll do well this year. I don't think they'll be like last year. At one point, they were in danger, looking like they might go down. I don't think they'll be anywhere near that. I think they'll be a kind of comfortably mid-table team.
Yeah.
But I think Wolves will kick on again. I think they'll even be challenging for Europe, similar to last year.
Well, they've made some interesting signings.
Yeah.
We'll move on to Wolves in a bit.
But I think, I just think for the money, I'd rather have Jimenez.
Yeah.
You've got James Ward-Prowse, Armstrong, bit of interest in them. But
what about if Ings is on pens? Because there was a friendly, they won 7-0. Ings took one pen, Ward-Prowse took the other. If Ings is on pens, does that make him more appealing? It must do, surely.
I mean, it would, compared to Che Adams, which I'm seeing a lot.
What is going on with Che Adams? Loads of people bringing him in. Yeah, well, really it's going to be Ings and Adams, right?
I think he's like a Twitter player. There's been a bit of a buzz.
Everyone's jumped on the bandwagon.
Like he played. I mean, everyone's saying like he finished the season well. How did he finish the season well? He really scored 2 goals or something like that. He didn't finish. He finished better than he started the season.
Yeah,
but that wasn't hard, right? Yeah. So, I mean, he's an option for sure. But there is again Mitrovic. We go back to for 6 million, he's a better player.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Right, here's an interesting one for you, Spurs. Okay. I've been watching that. Have you seen the documentary?
I've seen the first 3. Yeah.
Oh my god!
I've seen the first 3.
Is TV gold?
Oh, it's awesome.
I've watched.
Fascinating.
I literally watched the first 3 and then I've watched the second 3 now.
Yeah, don't spoil it.
No, I won't spoil it. The bit where Jose dies is a bit. Jose, sorry, where he dies. That's.
Don't get that wrong.
Where
it will ship you up.
See you later. The bit where Harry Kane realizes that he's a ghost. I mean, that's. Oh no, that's Sixth Sense. So. But everything about that documentary is TV
Spoiler
gold.
alert, what?
It's honestly one of the best documentaries I've watched.
Yeah.
I like the Man City one. I've sort of ploughed through that before as well. But this Spurs one's really, really interesting. But going back to, without spoiling it for you, has All or Nothing, Spurs documentary, has that warped my mind? I was actually considering at one point a Spurs triple up.
Yeah. Well,
and obviously we have to remember it's Jose's first full season.
Yeah, from the start he came midway through.
So yeah, is it something? Am I wrong to even consider it, or?
I think your team will tell the truth on this one. If you've gone for the triple up, your mind's been sent to another dimension.
Okay.
The double up, I can understand. The documentaries, like I said, absolutely fascinating. It's so good to get the inside track and, seeing all the gossip of the players and when they're talking about the manager coming in. And
like school kids.
It's amazing. Like, I just found it absolutely astonishing that we've actually get to see this sort of TV. But, I can see it. Kane is a proven goal scorer. His only issue is fitness, right? Jose loves him. You can tell that.
Yeah.
Son, I think, is tremendous value at 9. So I could forgive you for going for the Spurs double up because I was considering that myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then they signed Matt Doherty for 15 mil, which could be a steal. It could be a really good steal. So if you were going to go for the triple up, it'd probably be those 3. But I'm a big fan of not putting all my eggs in one basket, and you'll see that from my team reveal.
Where there's an empty basket.
Do you feel like your mind's been warped by this show?
Yeah, for
Yeah?
sure. Yeah, it's got me thinking all sorts of crazy things. It's got me thinking that Eric Dias as
like, an option,
an option. It's just not. I mean, listen, the biggest thing I took away from it is how many times you have to like slap someone. Every time they walk past each other in a corridor, they have to give it the old 8 Mile
high five
handshake.
Yeah.
I'm like, this doesn't surprise me. Son was out with a dislocated like elbow because it's probably from all the bloody hand slapping every 5 seconds. It's like ridiculous. So I've never seen. Like, I didn't know this thing. Dele Alli's insight into toothbrush as well.
Oh,
I mean that was too.
How do you do it? How do you do it?
I can't even think now. It's
because you don't brush your
toothpaste
teeth.
water. Yeah, I just get like the cat to like, lick my teeth. That sort of stuff. No, literally. Yeah.
You don't know, do you?
Toothpaste. Yeah. Toothpaste.
Literally,
water.
I do toothpaste, water, and brush. That's it. I don't wet the toothbrush before.
Yeah, I think we spent enough time on this already.
Yeah, let's move on.
I think Dele Alli spent too much time on it, and now we're doing the same.
But you know, let us know what you guys think if you put the toothpaste on before the water, or vice versa.
We're here to tackle the big questions, people.
Yeah,
let us know.
This is the real juicy stuff right here. West Brom. This is something I tweeted about quite recently.
Yeah.
Johnston, Button, double up in goal. Talk to me.
I can see why that might be an option. One of our followers, FPL Big Bear, actually, he commented back. He's a West Brom fan, I believe, or the way he wrote the tweet certainly sounded like he was a West Brom fan. I can't think why anyone would pretend to be one if they weren't, right? So I think he said they concede a lot of big chances. But the thing for me, if you're going for those budget keepers for the poorer teams in the league, you're not going for the clean sheets. You know they're not going to get clean sheets. You know that what you're going for really is those save points. So on that basis, like why not? I suppose.
I'm glad you said that, because if you said no, you would be contradicting yourself massively.
As if that was over the shin pad.
Shin pads come down. Because mistake me if I'm wrong, but I think you finished the season with Tim Krul in goal. Is that right? You did. Don't lie. You did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Possibly.
So I'm glad you answered that one.
I'm not a premium keeper man.
I've gone through so many goalkeeper strategies over the last few seasons.
Listen, I don't think there's anything wrong in having 2 cheap keepers and just having them from the same team, because listen, the other things, because if there is a COVID outbreak, which is something we do have to kind of consider this year.
For sure.
If one of them gets ruled out, then the other one, you might need to rely on your sub keeper a bit more. But the caveat to that is if one gets ruled out with COVID, who does that keeper train with every day? It's probably going to wipe both out.
That's a good point.
Exactly.
I should have thought about that.
Yeah. So I think if you get a cheap 4.5, you've kind of just got to hope that they're okay.
Yeah.
I've gone with a 4.5 keeper, you'll see. So the other one, kind of a non-playing keeper. We'll see how it goes. But, I wouldn't.
This is a new strategy for me.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I'm going with this one.
All right.
I'm going with this one. I was on McCarthy Button, and I did, when Button made the switch, I did turn my attention to Johnston. He's got some really good fixtures to start the season.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
They've got, a good chance. If they start well, then there's a good chance.
They've got a tough first match, haven't they? What's their first match? I think they've got
Leicester.
Okay, well, not terrible, not great,
They've got Leicester.
But not terrible.
But they're not playing any like the United City, Chelsea, Arsenal for at least the first sort of 8 games. So we'll see. I'm trying something new. I went premium before. It did me okay, but I've kind of realised last season I must have went through 5 goalkeepers.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to be rotating goalies. It's just a pain. I'd rather be switching attackers.
Yeah, I'm very much the same myself. I don't want to be making transfers with £4.5 million defenders. I want to be making aggressive transfers that are going to change my game week, hopefully. So, cool. West Ham.
The Hammers.
The mighty Hammers. Obviously, a lot. Did you see that fake? Well, it's definitely fake. But did you see that weird message that was supposedly leaked from the training ground about a big bust up.
Yeah, I read it when they had all the initials of all the staff saying about Karen Brady coming into the dressing room and stuff.
Such a load of rubbish. Interesting. You always find some amazing stuff on Twitter, but that stuff gets circulated so quick. But we sort of touched on it earlier, but Soucek, why the hype?
Yeah, Thomas Soucek. He's been talked about for what feels like forever since FPL was announced. And
he was in every
5
draft
mil. And I'm looking, I'm thinking, to me, he looks like a Premier League player. Like he had a really good end to the season. Mm-hmm. He reminds me, he's a box to box player, and he likes to get in the box, and he wins headers and he wins second balls in the penalty area. So I like him for that. At 5 mil, I'd probably go Norwood. If I'm being honest, I'd probably go for that. I don't know why. I just don't fancy Soucek, to be honest. And now that he's done what he's done, and he's in quarantine for however long, he's going to miss.
Still might make it.
What, for the first game?
I think there's been talk of it. Yeah, I think
really.
I think, as I say, he was like a precautionary quarantine. I don't think he's like definitely. So.
Well, he got 3 goals, right? He got 3 goals
in 1,000 minutes, something like that.
In 1,039 minutes.
So 11 games.
His output's not bad. To be honest with you, I like Bowen from West Ham. I much prefer trying to find 1.5 mil and get Bowen. But listen, he seems to be a fan's favourite. We'll see how he gets on. But for me, it's going to be a not right now and see what happens.
Okay.
What about you? Do you like him? Yeah. Last one, Wolves. A lot of talk of vinegar.
Yeah, Viagra, yeah.
Has he gone from hot to not after the signing of Marcel?
Yeah, I was a bit unsure on that pronunciation. I presume Marcel.
I'll do a poll for it, don't worry.
But we'll have another pronunciation poll. I literally think he was in everyone. He was another bit like Soucek. He was in every single. He was the 4.5 mil defender to have.
Yeah.
He was in mine. Now I'm not so sure. Marcel signed. It wasn't a big fee, which maybe could
hint that he's not going to start.
But then maybe it's just not a big fee because he's running down his contract or whatever. Who knows? So
yeah. Don't know too much about him.
And the thing is as well, Tellez is. I mean, if Tellez signed, that's the nail in the coffin. Yeah. But that's not happened yet. We'll see. But I think the way that the game is structured this year is so difficult to get a team that's guaranteed going to start when you're spending 4.5. You have to just go with people that are nailed.
Yeah.
I don't think you can be spending 4.5 on someone who's going to be a rotation.
Yeah.
And yes, you might have to go for cheaper players, but if they're playing every game, then, and this Vinagre thing is like, he's part of a great defence, but Doherty's gone and, Johnny's injured. So will they be as good as they were? But
there's a lot up in the air with this one.
I love Wolves' defence, though. I probably will double up on Wolves' defence.
Really?
At some point. Yeah. Once they've got those
Cody,
first couple of...
no goals ever.
Yeah, don't worry about Cody. I'm more of the Sace.
Okay.
England international Cody, by the way.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, got his call up. Well done, Connor.
Watch your disrespect.
So, yeah, we've gone A to W in the end-to-end. That was fun. Enjoyed
Interesting stuff there. Guys, listen, just... make sure you do drop us a comment. Make sure you're letting us know what you think. If you've got any views, we'd love to hear them. We're always open to persuasion on this one. Let us know nice and quick so I can change my team before 11:30 on or whatever it's 11 o'clock now on Saturday. So give us a nice plenty of warning so I can fix up.
Yeah, awesome. So we've been running a community team. It's one of the things that we were really keen to do for this show.
Yeah.
And we've been running polls, right, for each position of the team.
Yeah.
For you guys in the FPL community to pick, and we'll see how you guys get on this season.
Yeah. We went with before we start, we went with a 3-5. Like the general consensus was a 3-5-2, heavy hitting midfield.
Yeah. Which you voted for.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite template, I think it's fair to say, but that's the nature of the community. So what we'll be doing as the season goes on is inviting you guys to get involved, to vote on what transfers we should make, obviously what captain we should be picking for the week. Yeah,
help us make the decisions for your team, and we'll see how highly you guys can finish. See if you can get like a top 100k, top 50k finish, we'll see.
Yeah.
But we're going to have a little look at the team now.
It also gives me a part to be part of a team that might beat you.
Well, yeah, you need all the help you can get, mate. So we're going to have a little look at the team now. I've had a little brief look. Have you obviously you
yeah, I mean, I was adding the players as we went, so I kind
of. Let's pick this apart. So what have we got? We got McCarthy in goal.
McCarthy in goal, like good solid choice, I would say.
Yeah, 4.5. Set and forget with Nyland on the bench.
He's not going anywhere.
No,
he's just in for the shots. But listen, Southampton had a good defence last year, so
yeah,
I don't see that being an option. He could be almost Pope-like if
he could.
Southampton carried on the way they're performing. Then obviously Trent,
Trent
was never not going to be in the team. Doherty's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Obviously, you touched on him when you were talking about Spurs. New signing, got some real, form for goal returns and attacking returns as well. So I think he's going to be really interesting to see how he gets on at Spurs.
Listen, if he performs the same way he performed at Wolves, there's no doubt that he can. He likes to get in the box.
100%.
Not like Aurier. Aurier used to just push up wide and just try.
Just smash some crosses at waist
and
height.
And then give penalties away at the end. So hopefully, as long as Doherty don't give away 5 penalties away this season, it's already an improvement.
And a lot of the Spurs fans I've been chatting to, the agent, for example, is one.
Yeah.
Sort of noted that when Spurs do have this lineup in the past, Davies had an amazing attacking return at the end of a few seasons ago. He's done nothing the last couple of years.
Yeah.
He kind of becomes that extra defender alongside whoever,
so kind of makes it 3 at the back.
Toby or whoever.
Yeah.
And it's always down that right side that they push on. So if they carry on doing that, it suits Doherty perfectly. It should. Yeah. He could be great. He could almost be the Ivanovic of this Mourinho team. And
Kane could feed off the sort of crosses that he puts in, because he does like to get forward and join the attack.
Yeah.
KWP in the defence as well. Southampton double up at the back.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing?
Well,
what's going on here?
Well, who knows? Like I said, if it turns into a Burnley thing, guys, then it could be a Pope and Tarkowski double up.
We've got Vinagre on the bench, so maybe a little, just for a bit of balance.
Yeah.
Bring him in, and then Walker Peters on first sub.
Let's see how they go.
Midfield.
Yeah, we got our man Soucek. We've touched on him already.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to talk any more about him. Aubameyang. I think he's a week one shoe-in for most people's teams.
100%.
Salah. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Son. Again, really interesting pick. So I think he's gonna be great this year. Harvey Barnes, we kind of touched on with Leicester as well. I think he is the option to go for if you're looking to get a Leicester player in there.
If you've not got Vardy, you want
but he could easily be a chain. If a couple of those 7 million players start performing, if Mount somehow gets in that team and is involved with those other players,
yeah.
He can
or
easily
Zaha, if he gets off to a flyer.
Zaha, yeah, exactly. There's loads of options around that price.
And up front,
Werner, great shout. Obviously, as you said, he's got goals in him. He's definitely a player to have involved. And Mitrovic, my man Mitrovic, big Alex.
I like this team. I do like it. It's got some real big heavy hitting midfielders. This is exactly what the FPL community wanted, and definitely some goal threat up front. Got Brewster on the bench with Mitchell.
We'll see if he gets a loan, I suppose.
Mitchell's just obviously taking up a little seat there for us.
Yeah, Mitchell may get, obviously at the start of this season, certainly might get some minutes. We'll see how that goes.
But that's the team you guys have picked. So let us know what you think about the team that you guys have voted. And as Nick said, we're going to be doing probably a poll every week after every game week, giving you 4 decisions that you can choose from. And then, whichever one gets the most votes, we'll be making that change.
Be good. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah, cool. Moving on. We're going to move on to our mystery agent.
Yes.
So one of the features we're going to be doing is we've got a really special anonymous mystery guest who is a statistician for the Premier League and former agent. So he's got some real insight, real in-depth knowledge on the game of football and FPL. So he's kindly agreed to team up with us.
There's not too much we can say about this guy.
We can't, because otherwise he's going to lose his job.
But some say he caused the ash cloud over the whole of Europe, which stopped Lewandowski transferring to Blackburn in 2010.
And that he's screwed over more football players than Daniel Lloyd. But all we know is he's called the agent.
He's the agent. Let's see what his top tip for week 1. Let's have
a look.
My differential pick for this season, certainly the start of the season, is Dele Alli at 8 million. He can be hit and miss. At the moment, last couple of years, probably more miss than hit. But at 8 million, I think he has the capacity to score like an 8.5 million player. He really has the ability to combine 20 goals a season in terms of goals and assists. And I think if you get him at 8 million and he performs, and I think he's got the fire back in his belly under Jose, the first full season under Jose, who, watching that Amazon documentary, suggests that Jose really does like him. I think he will start. It's between him and Bergwijn. I think Jose will go Son, Ali and Moura behind Kane against Everton on Sunday. And as I say, for 8 million, I think you've really got the possibility of an 8.5 million player in terms of scoring.
So, Dele Alli, he reckons. 8 mil against Everton.
I'm not going to lie. I actually am still considering him. Part because of the documentary. Jose seems to really love him as a player.
He fancies him.
He properly rates him. And also, the guy's like 2.6% owned at the minute.
Yeah.
He's going to be a big differential. And again, it's one of those, you might not like him as a player. When I've watched him live, when I've been to see him, actually play in front of me, you watch him and he doesn't seem like he cares particularly.
It's like he's playing on the park down the field with his mates, doesn't he?
He's very relaxed. He just doesn't. But then he'll just pop up at the back post and that's your goal. And the way FPL works is not, it's not based on overall performance. It's just based on stats. It's goals and it's assists. And it's obviously the bonus point system. But if you score a goal, doesn't matter whether it's beating 8 players and curling it into the top corner, or if it's tripping over and it hits you on the arse and goes in, you're still going to get the same amount of points. So he does pop up with the goods, and he's got it like as the agent said a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it was. He was absolutely
on fire,
hauling,
untouchable.
Untouchable.
And in the All or Nothing doc, when he done that little bit of improvisation on the byline. To set Son on the way for that goal. And you saw the way Mourinho reacted. He was like, your goal. Yeah. Dele is your goal. He wants him playing how he knows he can play.
I didn't know Mourinho was Russian, but that was interesting. But
Russian. That was my best Welsh accent.
But I do think he's going to be... he's a player that needs to be loved. And obviously you did get the vibe that maybe Pochettino had a bit fed up with him. But... Listen, Mourinho's given a chance. Do you see the bit we were saying about Alex Ferguson? Said give one bit of advice, get Dele Alli.
Get Dele Alli.
He knows his players.
Yeah.
So we'll see what he does. I mean, I'm still considering it.
I'll be honest. I've not touched him. I'm not going to touch him until I see him nail down a position in that team. Okay. I can't be having players that are in and out.
He's been playing a number 10 position as well. He's been pushed up a bit higher. That's one of the things I was looking at. So
he came in for me last season. For a bit, and he did well until I think it was after the Man United game, and he kind of dropped off. But that's what the agent thinks. Listen, he's the expert. He has kindly agreed to provide us with this expert knowledge. So tell us what you guys think. If you think the agent's right, if you agree, or if you disagree, just make sure you get involved and get involved with the comments. Moving on, we're going to be. We need to mention the mini league.
Yeah, it was good fun last year.
Yeah. Where did you come?
I didn't really
you didn't even look
at the... Well, listen, I was mid-table.
I stopped looking after about 80 as well, mate, to be fair.
I was mid-table. I wasn't below 80.
You were fighting relegation.
No. Yeah.
I think I finished just outside the top 40. There's some really good teams in there.
There were some great teams. The guy finished it was like in the hundreds, I think. The guy who won it. So it was a good standard. So we've already got more followers more followers. We've already got more entries into the mini league this year than we finished last year with. So it's already filling up nicely. So it'd be good to get some real involvement there. And obviously we're going to shout out the best performing, teams in that league every week and dropping you a little shout out. So let us know, comment your team name as well. What's quite nice as well, if you can, is let us know once your team's entered, because obviously a lot of times we just see the team name and then we can't always link that to the people on Twitter that are following. So it'd be nice to put some faces to names.
Drop us your handle. We'll make sure that you get a shout out. Manager of the week we'll do, manager of the month, and for the winner we're going to do a prize or prizes, but we're in the process of that. So just stay tuned. We'll get some prizes. Michael Bolton CD. So the league is the FPL JUiCE League, and the code is ME88QQ. That's all lowercase. So make sure you join. It's free to join, and like we said, prizes to be announced very soon. Should we get onto the meaty stuff, the proper juicy stuff?
Let's see it.
Yeah?
Let's do it. It's been a long time coming. Genuinely, we have not. And why this will be interesting as well, I should say, because me and Ash, although we finished very, very close in terms of league position, it's a bit like one of them. We never have the same, but we always seem to have very dissimilar teams, which is quite interesting because a lot of time you'll be in a mini league and the person who you're vying with, within a few points here or there, is normally got like one or two players different from you. And it makes it very boring because it's very hard to then catch that person up or for them to catch you up. So it's what always makes it quite fun with me and Ash is we tend to go for completely opposite sorts of teams and players. But
you keep mentioning this 8-point gap.
Yeah,
that I won by.
Yeah,
and to quote Dominic Toretto from the Fast and Furious, it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Yeah. Winning is winning, and that's the most important thing.
The problem I had was that on the very last day of the season, you remember when that team news was leaked?
Here he goes.
I was out with the family on a boat on a little punt up and down the Thames with friends. Didn't have any signal. And I lost out purely because I would have dropped Trent. I could have got some top performing players in.
Honestly, your excuses are just like your team. They get worse and worse every year.
And I've won the league. That's it. But listen, I can't take it away. You're right. You did get lucky and win the league. So well done. But listen, it's a new time. The slate's
new season. 2021.
You're only as good as your last season, right?
Yeah, which I won. So did I mention that? We're going to do your team first, right? Genuinely, look, we've not seen each other's team, so this is going to be interesting. So let's have a look at Nick's team. Nick's team first of all. Okay.
What are you saying?
Oh man, what's going on here?
What are you?
Oh wow. Okay.
What's not to like?
Do you know what? The players that you've got, I like. That I've got, I like those ones.
Oh, okay. How many out of interest? Or should we wait and see? Let's wait and see. I know you're going to have Salah and Aubameyang.
I've got 5.
5?
Yeah.
I know you're going to have Trent, Salah, Aubameyang.
Right. So what we're looking at, right? We're looking at a 3-5-2. And this is a little bit different for you because normally you go 3-4-3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 3-5-2. You've got McCarthy in goal.
There's too many good midfielders to ignore this year.
You've got McCarthy in goal. Now I see why you back the community team's choice of the double up for
McCarthy.
The
community know what they're talking about.
KWP. So he's gone for the Saints double up.
People are with me.
You've gone for the Saints double up at the back and the Liverpool double up.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I can get on board with Liverpool double up.
When Liverpool and Southampton have a 0-0 draw in a few weeks' time, I'm going to be killing it.
Quids in. The midfield's very, very interesting.
It's heavy.
Son, you know my feelings on Son. I think he's great value at 9.
Mm-hmm.
Salah, honestly, like you and Salah, you just can't break you two up.
Inseparable. Honestly,
married couple. I predicted that, to be fair. Havertz, that's a bold shout. He could come into the team, start off and absolutely fire, or he could be another Torres.
He could go one or two ways.
Or another Higuain.
And do you know what? Just on while we're on him, the problem that caused for my team is that as I mentioned earlier, I didn't want to take a risk on 2 Chelsea new signings.
So you had Werner.
So I did have a couple of drafts with Werner in and maybe a cheaper, but then I just think Havertz is a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
Gave me a bit more flexibility up front. So, and also gave me the Liverpool double up at the back, which I did want. So I've gone with it. He's at a decent price point where I can move. So Havertz, I think it's no, without telling you what I'm going to do, but I think most people are going to do Aubameyang to
KDB
Sterling or a De Bruyne.
Yep.
That's going to free me up 0.5. I can then do Havertz to a 9 million mid, or I can...
Yeah, you've got loads of options.
There's a couple of options, or I can downgrade. I can do there's a few ways I can move with that team.
Yeah. What I really want to know is how many bottles of wine did you drink before you picked Abdoulaye Doucouré?
Okay. So again, he's a fresh entry.
Answer the question.
He's a fresh entry today because he's just signed.
Yeah.
We're recording
How much
on
is
Wednesday,
he?
so he's 5.5.
Okay.
But let me tell you, the guy does amazingly well for Watford consistently for quite a while.
If you consider
In respect
mediocre
of his
amazing,
price.
yeah.
In respect of his price.
Yeah.
He's moved to Everton, which is been making loads of moves. They're going to have a much more creative team, you would think. I did have Sam Maximum.
Yeah.
But I've gone now with Wilson up front. And for the same reason I don't want two Chelsea, I don't want two Newcastle attackers. So I've gone with Doucouré purely as a bit of a point of difference.
Okay. You know what? I'm not opposed to it. I like it.
Who else are you going to have? Stuart Armstrong?
What, for 5.5? Norwood.
Well, I hope you haven't.
You got Armstrong, St. Maximin.
Aubameyang, I don't like Aubameyang, but...
You got to have him.
I've got to have him.
If you don't and he fires,
but he's only there
you'll be kicking yourself.
He's only there for a couple of weeks.
And then Wilson. Listen, I hope Wilson does well. I think it's a bold move. Mitrovic as well. You've not got like a premium striker there. So all who budgets into midfield. And your bench is a little bit light as well. I mean, Keenan Davis is not playing game week 1. Mitchell,
he's not playing full stop, to be fair. But if Brewster gets a loan move, I can make a move. I don't plan on him. My bet, I'm having two players at best that are going to play.
But do you not think, like with COVID and everything, that the risk of your players not playing due to that would mean you need to have a bit more squad depth?
Yeah, but I think if I bring in a player that's of a certain level for an extra $500,000, or in Davis's, it would have to be at least $1 million. I think what you're going to get 2 points. You're only going to get 2 points in that week. Whereas with the extra $1 million, when you go from, I don't know, if you go from like Robertson 7. So I suppose if you went from Doherty to Robertson. Or Digne to Robertson, I think that £1 million is going to be much better spent on that upgrade than from a bench player that might not play. And even if he did, you might get 2 points. Yeah. So that's my thinking. I've gone for a strong starting 11. There's not much depth on the bench. You got Lamptey, which I think is a really good player. Yeah. Finished the season really strong. So hopefully we'll get him. We'll see a bit more of him this year. Yeah. And then Mitchell, if he plays, it's a bonus. But again, I'm only putting them on there to pick up a couple of points here or there if the others don't play. So it's very much based around a strong starting 11, apart from up front where I'm extremely light. But yeah, that's the team, guys.
Listen,
I'd love to know what you think.
I'm going to give this team a 9 for effort.
A 9 for the 9 players.
A 9 for
play
effort.
Game week 1.
And about 0 chance of beating mine. So let's have a...
I should say this team's not locked in, guys, by the way. So again, let me have your comments. Let me see what you're thinking.
Yeah, what do you think of Nick's team? We'll do a poll after anyway and see who people prefer in terms of our teams. Right. Right, this is my team. I've called it Delphin Safety. What do you think? Initial thoughts?
I think the name's good.
Yeah? What else?
Well, listen, your goalie. We spoke about the goalies earlier, so I kind of understand that. If there's a massive COVID outbreak in the Midlands, I think you're in trouble. Yeah. Which is one of the hotspots for COVID outbreaks, I think.
Well, that wipes out Ayling as well then.
So
I know he's northwest. He's northwest, isn't he?
Trent and Robertson. I see what you think.
Yeah, of course. We talked about the double up.
Followed my example. You've seen my team. You've kind of gone with that.
Yeah.
Dunk. I like Dunk. I'm not going to lie.
Yes,
I was thinking about putting him in the Chelsea fixture. So it could go either way.
Yeah, I know.
Ziyech. He's in.
He's in.
Might not start.
He'll start.
Really?
He'll start.
You seem very confident.
The guy's a superstar.
Yeah, but he did get a bit injured.
A bit, yeah. That's all right. He's not a whole lot injured, though.
Well, you got McCarthy to come on and absolutely
exactly.
smash it.
McCarthy,
you don't need to worry.
Bag that 2 points.
Son,
Get in there, boy.
Son, decent. Obviously, I've gone for him. Captain. Is he actually going to be your captain?
Undecided. And this team also is not locked. Just saying.
Just saying. Now you've seen mine. You've got some fresh ideas.
Have I mentioned that I've beaten you 2 years?
Saint Maximin. Yeah, listen, I told you I considered him, so I 100% can understand why. And West Ham, especially with the form they're in, there could be, the turmoil that they're in, and shall I say, you've definitely got a chance of bagging a few points there. Aubameyang, yeah, obviously. Right. Mitrovic, yeah. So this is where the money's gone.
Yeah.
Vardy and Ings. So I'm really interested. I'm not going to say that I wasn't considering Ings at some point, but then I did talk myself out of it. And obviously he's got the fixtures over Jimenez at the start of the season. So, and
You've
can
also
swap
got Sheffield and City second game, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that is a tough start to the league. But I would say you start the season with Ings. Are you planning on making the Aubameyang?
Yeah, so the thinking is Aubameyang to KDB and then
you can go Ings to
Martial.
Yeah, I was going to say that's classic you. So
but you know, classic me is a winning formula, right?
Yeah.
So
and Vardy.
What do you think of Vardy?
I mean, he is that player, isn't he? He can just go off and score you 10 goals in 9 games. So I think it's as good a shout as any. I went for all my strikers effectively are midfielders.
Yeah.
So that's the way I've attacked it. But I
don't
see.
He won the Golden Boot last season.
That bench, I understand what you're doing with Williams, because obviously if one of them doesn't play, he's going to.
If Trent doesn't play, Williams comes in. He's 4 mil. So.
But then you've done yourself out of any Liverpool.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't think Mane or Salah at any point in the season?
Stat attack for you.
Yeah.
You probably didn't know this, but I didn't use Salah or Mane all last season.
No, I noticed.
And I still beat you.
Yeah, but you were.
You don't need these guys.
Yeah, you were quite lucky to, as we said.
You can get points from everywhere.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, it will make it interesting. As you say, you got Mitrovic, same as me, Son, Aubameyang, which we're both going to move anyway.
Yeah.
And then the 2 defenders. So it's a different team again.
Yeah.
It's not template.
Well, we've got six
which
different.
I like. I hope Ziyech doesn't play.
Yeah.
I hope you're left with McCarthy picking up a yellow card and 10-minute cameo at the end of the game. Yeah, it's interesting. Do you know what? Can't argue with it.
I like that our teams are always different. That's one thing you can bank on.
Yeah,
let's definitely do a poll on who you think's team is the best for game week 1, right? Or should we just do the best team?
Best team for the season.
Which do you think is the best team, guys? Just we'll do a poll, have a little vote.
What I will say is with this team, with this sort of game week we find ourselves in, it's never ever been harder to pick a team, because what I like to do with my game week 1 squad, I don't really look at the fixtures. You look at it with your sort of fluctuating players, but I like to have my team pretty much locked in with players that I'm going to have or want the whole season.
Yeah.
With Man United, Man City, not so much Aston Villa, but Burnley even, because everyone I think would want a Burnley defender as a cheap option. Like
Charlie Taylor's the one.
Yeah, everyone would want him.
He's nailed.
You're going to want one of Rashford, Martial, Bruno, and you're going to want one of Sterling and KDB.
Yeah.
And possibly Aguero if he's fit. And then also you've got like Laporte to consider, who's been diagnosed with obviously COVID as well. If he's not playing, you've got Ake you could buy into that defence for 5.5 million. It's a really kind of, it takes a massive part, because now you're almost sort of wasting your transfers, bringing in players that you would want from the start anyway, but you can't afford to put these players on. You can't have 9 million sitting on your bench in game week 1.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of talk of strategy. My strategy, with regards to City and United assets, right? Obviously not playing game week 1. So much talk, people planning ahead, this and that. And, I've gone for a very complex strategy. It's called the bridge strategy, in which I will cross it when I get to it. And it's literally that simple for me. So game week 2, you'll see a different team. I might even take a hit. I don't know. I never normally take hits.
Yeah.
I only took 1 hit last season.
I almost
That was the very last day, which cost me 5 places in my money league.
I did consider an early wild card.
Yeah, I know you were. Yeah.
I was actually thinking, do you know what? Should I just, because then you avoid all the price jumps as well. And 0.1 might as well be 0.5.
Yeah.
Because you play in $500,000 blocks at the start of, further down the line, prices all fluctuate and it's a bit easier. But when you're that early on, 0.1 it could be 0.1 or 0.5 is irrelevant because you're never going to get that player in without dropping someone $500,000.
Another thing I've noticed, we've both got the Liverpool double up, but we've not doubled up on any other players really in a starting lineup. Obviously, I've got Button on the bench.
Yeah.
So again, I'm just trying to cover as many games as possible because I did have the Son and Kane combo, and I thought, what if they just have a terrible game? Because Spurs are capable of a shocker, and then Vardy bangs in 2. I'll be kicking myself. But yeah,
let's see,
guys. I wanted to give a quick shout out to Nathan Bacon. He recently featured my team on his YouTube channel, which is brilliant. Really, really good fun. Great banter. We want to say thanks. Thanks, Nathan. Really appreciate that. You guys should definitely check this guy out. His Twitter handle is @NathanBaconFC, and his YouTube channel is NathanBaconFC. Did you like the video?
I loved it. I like his energy.
He's got fantastic
fun,
energy.
He just cracks on.
Yeah.
Cuts to it.
You like I had the juice before.
Yeah.
Speaking of juice.
Yes.
Yeah, love it. Great stuff, Nathan. And yeah.
I've got a couple of questions from our followers as well, actually.
Yeah.
So I'll hit these with you. This one's from Code Trader, one of our followers on Twitter.
Code Trader.
Which of you is Juicy Bits and who is No Bits and why? That's the first question. Now, I'm going to tell you That's class. I love the bits. I'm all about the bits.
Yeah.
You?
I like bits.
You look like a guy who likes bits.
I know you love bits.
His other question, which is slightly more in depth. Tip for this season's early doors Pookie hype. Who's going to be that player that kind of goes off?
Well, Pookie was what? He was 6 mil, 6.5 was he last season? I think he was.
Yeah, I think 6.
6 mil. So the comparison, as we said in our end-to-end feature, Mitrovic. I think he's the guy. If you're willing to go that 0.5, maybe Wilson if he gets off to a flyer. But if I was going to put money on it, I'd go Mitrovic.
What about someone we haven't spoke about?
Go on.
And someone that I was thinking, what about Pereira for West Brom?
Do you know what? He's been in and out of my drafts too many times that I care to mention. I really like the look of this guy. 23 assists last season in the Championship.
Baller. He could be I
like the look of him.
Adel Taarabt. He's like one of them. I think he could go one or two ways.
Yeah.
But someone to think about anyway. That's who I thought potentially could be. If I had a spare $500,000, then Decore could become Matheus Pereira.
Yeah, we'll see how he gets on. So he's got some. If he's gonna impress, it'll be in these first few games. He's got favourable fixtures.
Next question was from FPL Glasto.
Yeah.
So you're going to know my answer on this already. Mm-hmm. To Salah or not to Salah? That is the question.
Well, to answer the question is not Salah.
For you,
because you don't need Salah.
He's been in the top 3 every season he's played in the Premier League since he came.
But you don't need him. I've proved that you don't need him. Because I didn't need him all last season, and I'll still be here.
Listen, you might have won.
Don't give me the 8 points, right? We've had this.
You might have won your other mini league if you'd have had him.
So you say Salah, yeah? To Salah.
I think it's impossible to ignore. Yeah, we'll see. Let's see what happens. We can easily fix this at the end of game week 1 when he scores a brace.
Listen, Glasto, if you like winning your mini leagues and stuff, yeah, which obviously I like to as well. you can invest your money elsewhere. All right, don't listen to Nick. he hasn't got a clue.
Let us know as well on that, guys. If you drop us a comment about Salah or not, so it'd be interesting. I see. I thought everyone is on Salah, but clearly Ash isn't. So let us know. Let us know where you stand on it.
Yeah. Question from Karthik Raja.
Yes.
At Copter 007. Strategies for the start of the season. Now, you know my bridge strategy. We've talked about that. What's your strategy for the start of the season? The strategy,
as I kind of mentioned before, the strategy is so hard this year with your transfers, with trying to get your Man City and your Man United in and getting in those Burnleys. I think an early wild card could be the way.
You're playing with fire there, man, because we've talked about COVID throughout this, yeah. And you don't know when a breakout might happen, and you might have to make some wholesale changes to your team.
You only get 2 a season.
You've got to keep it in your back pocket. I don't even know why I'm giving you tips. Right. You should be paying me for these tips right now.
We'll see. That's my strategy for this instance. I'm not saying like a week 2 wild card, but I'm saying do it early. Jump on the good. As soon as you know what those formations are locked in, as soon as you know who are the form players, get it done early. Get the value locked into your team. For me.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
You know.
Just hold on to your wild card. And
I'm
cross the bridge.
On. Yeah.
What if the troll comes out from under the bridge and pulls you down?
And then I'll give him a smack, and then I might make the right transfer.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun to see what all the different strategies are. So yeah, let us know what strategy you're going with, Karthik. On the back of that, expert analysis and advice.
And then the last one, we had a question, or not even a question, more of a comment. We need a pre-season ante. So a bit of a bet as to like what is going to happen this season, a prediction or something like that. Now, I thought it'd be a good thing to let you guys decide if there should be maybe a forfeit involved in this. So we can decide the best way to settle it. So let us know what you want a prediction on. If it's,
would it be like top goal scorer, something like that?
Yeah, if we both pick a top goal scorer, hopefully we'll pick a different one. But if it's top goal scorer, if it's who's going to win the league, just let us know what you think is going to be the best easy thing just for us to make a prediction on, see which one of us gets it right. And then you can pick, within reason, the forfeit.
Yeah, so just bear in mind that Nick will likely to lose.
Bear in mind, I'm married. I want to stay that way. And Ash isn't my sort of guy.
That's not what you said last night. Let us know.
Good job you're not making the forfeit. That's all I can say. So yeah, let us know the forfeit. We'd love to hear your ideas for it, and let us know what you want us to guess on. We literally.
So yeah, we'll have a go. You can get in touch at FPL JUiCE, FPL_JUiCE on Twitter. Same for Instagram, where you'll get to see some sort of behind the scenes content, some extra bonus stuff. Our email is fpljuice@launchpodstudios.com.
Perfect. Guys, we look forward to hearing from you, and we will see you on the other side of the game week when we're all crying into our juice. But maybe not all of us.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Good.
Have a good week, guys.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Cheers, mate.
Run out of juice.